Greetings, greetings and salutations, one and all.
And you just get up sometimes, but don't go sit down, you know, like your problems. So you lay up and smile.
Welcome, 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 welcome to the night shift. Happy hump day to you.
And I know it's easy to complain, yeah, but
It's the end of another night shift week right here.
better days are coming.
I say big up to each and every one of you locked in right now.
But better days are coming. I know the journey that you're on is fine, sing along. But they say what will kill you, it does
Otterbox.net,
strong.
Otterbox affiliates.
Better days ahead of you. Better days are coming.
Foundation Radio Network,
Better days, it coming. Better days, it coming. Better
One Harmony Radio, PEMGTV.com. Of course, right here, KevinStew.com. Guest 406, good evening. This is on Aaron Duncan. Better days.
Nobody say this would have been, this would have been.
This segment of this show is brought to you by Pulsey Media Group.
You might come across.
When being in the moment is priceless,
I know that you could girl.
go ahead and give them a call.
And you just get up sometimes, but don't go sit down, you know, like your problems. So you
744-999-6020.
get up my child.
Tell them DJ Kevin Stew sent you.
Easy to complain, yeah, but there are better days ahead of you. Better days are coming, and I know things are little hard for you, but better days are coming. I know the journey that you're on is fine, sing along, but they say what will kill you, it does only make you strong. But there's better days ahead of you. Better days are coming. Better days, it coming. Better days, it coming. Better days, it coming. Coming, coming. Better days, it coming. Better days, it coming. Better days, it coming. Coming, coming. I know you're feeling, yeah, like you really want to stop falling, and you're balling, calling out on your knees, yeah. But brighter days gonna come soon. Jaja, he loves you, yeah. I know that you could get up sometimes, and you just get up sometimes. But don't go sit down, you know, like your problems. So you lay up and smile. You better get up, my child. There's royalty running in your veins, and I know it's easy to complain, yeah. But there are better days ahead of you.
Royalty running in your veins.
And I know things
You
are
just need to recognize it
but better days.
and claim it.
I know the journey that you're on is fine, sing along, but they say what will kill you, it does only make you strong. But there's better,
You know, I was just tuning into Chef Jones
better days are coming.
on Homegrown with G. Cole.
Better days, it coming. Better days, it coming.
And she was saying these very same things, you know, she was expressing the sentiment at one point in the show.
Better days, it coming. Better days,
Saying, listen, I know who I am.
nobody say,
That's a big deal.
this would have been.
Big up to G. Cole.
On your way, you might come across some troubles on your journey. I know that you could get up sometimes, and you just get up sometimes, but don't go sit down in
Numbers to call, numbers to text tonight.
up and smile.
The same as every other night.
My child,
773-789-7892.
there are better
773-789-7839. You don't need to be shy.
but better days are coming. I know the journey that you're on, it might seem long, but they say what will kill you, it does only make you strong. But there's better days ahead of you. Better days are coming. Better days, it coming.
So on this Real Talk,
Better days, it coming, coming, coming.
it's one of the more serious shows Not to say that all the shows are not serious, but some have more humor in them than others. Um, my I read a post from my brother-in-law on social media, and he's in California, South Central LA, and he runs a Salvation Army Community Center. And he posted that a parent of two of the preschoolers in his program got killed. And he got killed while running for safety. He was murdered. And immediately I thought back to last week. And was it last week or the week before? But there was a young man who got killed just, 2 blocks from where I work in my 9 to 5. And he had a cousin in the program at the center where I work. And it just, it sparked the question, why do people kill? What is it that drives people to the point where they're going to walk up to someone and stab them or shoot them? What could that person have done to them that is so unforgivable? And I got nothing. So, of course, I went to doing some research. And some of the results I found was that people kill for many reasons. And they fall into a few basic categories. In self-defense, they kill someone else to defend themselves from being killed or being seriously harmed. Or might because they're psychotic, because they're mentally ill. One might argue that people also kill other people when at war. One would argue that war itself is a kind of collective mental illness, a mass psychosis. Some people might kill someone because of a momentary lapse into mental illness. You know, that when you get to plead that insanity plea, that moment of insanity. A policeman shoots another person because for 2 or 3 seconds, that policeman may believe, whether correctly or not, that that person represents an immediate threat to someone else's life, or the policeman has a right to kill anyone who's breaking the law. That's a momentary psychotic episode, because there's not really the need to kill, but rather to simply stop the other person. In most cases, shooting at their legs would be enough. However, officers snap and lose and lose control, becoming psychotic for an instant and shooting an unarmed suspect 5 times. Well, that's if they're lucky. In some cases. But that's considered a momentary psychotic episode. One person in the chat room says, I think that there's no longer a regard for human life. But is it that there's no longer regard for human life? Is it something that is new? It's not just now that people started killing each other. We've been doing this a long time. Again, the mention of wars. And it's funny. Funny thing about this war thing. You are paid to learn how to kill people. But if you flip it and you decide that you want to save lives, you want to become a nurse or a doctor, you have to pay to become that person. But yes, you're taught and paid to go out and kill people. See how interesting it is? I know there are different legal interpretations regarding mental illness and the judicial responsibility regarding that. But does anybody in their right mind, when they kill someone else, have the right to do so? Whether they're legally responsible or not. Does that make it a different matter? It's not new, but it's becoming more acceptable. Is it becoming more acceptable, or are we becoming more desensitized to it? Later on in the show, we're gonna hear some views from some incarcerated killers. Yeah, I found that too. I told you, I went looking. So, what then makes a killer? Jonathan Strickland had put together this article, and I thought, whoa. What is it that pushes a person to the end? And that's at their end, so that they decide that they're going to end another person. Does it take a special sort of human to kill? Or is there potential in all of us to become killers? Does it depend on our situations? Does it depend on scenarios? Are we all born killers who repress our urges, or must we break down social and psychological barriers before we can take life? How does it go? These are some of the questions that people have been trying to answer for centuries, believe it or not. Here's the thing, there are many different types of killers. The mentally unstable killers who display psychotic or sociopathic tendencies. These people appear to have limited resistance to killing, if they have any at all. Then you have assassins and hitmen who kill either for profit or to maintain status within a group. There are those who kill out of self-defense. And there are people whose jobs include killing enemies in combat. You're soldiers. Is there any common element among all these types of killers? Do you have to have a certain type of mindset before you can become one who will kill someone else? Or does each category have its own special circumstance? The categories that I mentioned earlier. There's a lot of debate over it. A soldier would likely object to being placed in the same category as a serial killer. But under the surface, assuming the soldier is willing and able to kill an enemy, how is he or she different from someone who kills compulsively? it's a subject that is difficult to address without either sensationalizing or downplaying the elements that are involved. The truth of the matter is, we have no definitive answers for questions like those. But scientists, psychologists, psychiatrists, neurologists, they all have proposed hypotheses for why people might kill. And we're going to look at those in broad categories, mainly nature and nurture. Nature argument is suggesting that we possess the ability to kill because we evolved that way. Now, well, I guess I don't need to explain the nurture because obviously it would have to be taught. And it's interesting, going back to that soldier idea. Soldiers are taught to kill, right? And I know people who are ex-military, and they don't talk, some of them don't talk about being deployed and what they had to do. Whether it is they have already talked about and decided that they're going to put it away and never again revisit it, or because they've repressed it. Because maybe they repressed it because it felt good doing it. I don't know. I've decided to not bring it up with them because I'm not a professional like that. But those who are professionals like that, I wonder, are these some of the kind of questions and conversations that you have with ex-military? And I wish I could get one of my professional friends that work with vets to share some of that. There's a somewhat controversial approach to psychology that says some, if not many, some of our behaviors are hardwired into us. And according to this science, humans evolved with certain behavioral traits that they've passed down to subsequent generations. Over time, these behaviors can change. The approach falls under the umbrella of evolutionary psychology. All my therapy friends out there, not the ones that get it, the ones that conduct it. 773-789-STEW, you know the number. There's a lack of... Oh, I missed this comment in the chat room. So many legal loopholes. There's legal killing and illegal killings, and at the end of the day, it's a life taken. Yeah, it is. But one gets paid to get done, and the other is justified. There's a lack of consensus about evolutionary psychology, even among its proponents. According to David Sloan Wilson, part of the reason there is such controversy around the subject is because of an early popular theory proposed by Leda Cosmides and John Tooby. Wilson states this view of evolutionary psychology is narrow and misleading. Among his complaints with their work include the way he says Cosmides and Tubi limited the environment of evolutionary adaptedness as a series of environments in which people lived over the course of their evolutionary process. As a result, the human mind developed many pieces designed to solve particular problems encountered in those environments. Wilson believes Cosmides and Tubi oversimplify elements of the human experience with their theory that there are two basic natures, one for men and one for women. We've heard this before. Many of us are brought up on this. The hunter-gatherer, the nurturer. Right? In addition, he's also critical of the scope of their theory, saying that they didn't take into account variation across populations and the brain's rapid evolution over a relatively short time. Wilson points out there are many approaches to explaining human behavior from an evolutionary point of view. In their chapter on evolutionary psychology as it relates to homicide in the book Evolutionary Psychology and Violence, David M. Buss and Joshua Dunley hypothesize that aggression is a trait inherent in humans that dates back to the prehistoric era. People had to compete with one another for resources. Sometimes this competition became violent, and as a result, humans who survived developed parallel sets of skills. One set helped people survive aggression. I guess those would become your doctors and nurses. And the other helped humans inflict greater harm on competitors. Those would be the ones who teach you. So that would be your military and your armed forces. Well, just categorizing off the top of my head. If you can categorize it some other way, feel free. Join me in the chat room, kevinstew.com, or hit me up. Call or text 773-789-7839. According to this hypothesis, people become more adept at both avoiding and inflicting harm over generations. For a higher level perspective, you could say that based on this hypothesis, we are all capable of killing. Many proponents of evolutionary psychology, including Buss and Dunley, don't deny that other factors play a role in turning someone into a killer. They acknowledge that a person's circumstances will influence him or her. But at our core, down the very depths of us, we're all killers. Critics of evolutionary psychology say that our minds are not as hardwired as these psychologists suggest. They point to how quickly the mind has evolved since our prehistoric days. The brain is much faster than the popular presentation of evolutionary psychology can justify. Critics like David Brooks say that humans are too complicated and adaptive for evolutionary psychology to hold much meaning. So, what then is the flip side of this coin? What is it that could condition a person into becoming a killer? Because what we just looked at was the fact that, okay, we were born a particular way, and because of our environment, we had to survive, and we learned certain things, and we adapted accordingly. So, nature taught us. But what could really condition you, an individual, into becoming a killer. We're going to take a quick little break. And when we come back, we're going to try to find out. 773-789-STEW. Call somebody. Invite somebody to listen. Share. If you go to kevinstew.com if you're not listening, if you're not tuned in on kevinstew.com, or you're listening on TuneIn or somewhere else. Go to kevinstew.com and share that. And invite some people to come into the chat room and let's talk. Or just go ahead and call me up, 773-789-7839, or shoot me a text. I respond. I check the messages. I promise you I do. Some of them I get late, but I check them. So we're going to take a quick little break. When we come back, we talk some more. This is the night shift. Real Talk Wednesday. We'll be right back.
Policy Media Group, innovative streaming and recording, has done it again. A new way to get your business in full view of your neighborhood consumer through AdShare TV. It's available in your neighborhood today. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. Become a host today and place a TV monitor in a strategic location so it's easy to see. Get a 1-minute video ad or longer that plays anywhere in our network. Can't be a host? No problem. For a few dollars, we'll run your 30-second video ad. A host can run announcement specials like buy one get one free or discount ads. Let's turn your flyers into a 30-second video with music or a voiceover, or let us create and run your video ad with a spokesperson. Take advantage of our early enrollment discount. Join us today. Your ad will be seen at least 30 times per day in your AdShare TV neighborhood. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. AdShare TV, part of Policy Media Group.
Kiwanis Club of Greater Sunrise in Broward presents their 3rd annual scholarship fundraising event, Moments in Time. This year, it's a Father's Day edition. A dinner dance with live entertainment featuring Scotch Bonnet Band, the comedic stylings of Reverend St. Hope, fashion show put on by Simply Tea Fashion and Harold's Fine Fashion, hosted by me, Sir Rockwell, taking place on Sunday, June 17th at the Banquet Hall, 8062 West McNabb Road in North Lauderdale, in the Broward Meat Plaza. Doors open at 4 p.m. Showtime 5 p.m. sharp. Dinner served at 6 p.m. For ticket information, call 754-304-8135 or 954-627-4354 or purchase your ticket online at eventbrite.com. Pre-sold tickets $55, $65 at the door. Children's and table prices available. So come celebrate the father in your life on Sunday, June 17th at the Banquet Hall, 8062 West McNabb Road. Brought to you by the Kiwanis Club of Greater Sunrise in Broward. Sponsored by Bear Case, Vision Electric, The Lady Song Show, and RockTheBox.net.
Are you crazy about the music industry? You aspire to hit it big in music? Or maybe you've sweated out a soulful killer beat and are now stuck finding it's not as easy as it looked. Oh, but it can be easy for you with JTMC. We've been there. We know how it feels. So we solve challenges like production, promotion, marketing, branding and development, and more. With over 30 years of experience, JTMC is a one-stop shop for artists. We handle your graphic design, writing services, PR, as well as event planning, e-blasts, artist management, and bookings, so also your website and social media needs as well. We're experts in using creativity to persuade audiences on behalf of artists, drawing on our diverse experience to create projects that connect with audiences intellectually and emotionally. Artist success is everything to us, and our years of experience and commitment will be behind you for every one of your needs. If you've got music for the world to hear, whether you're a new or established artist, visit us at jtmcenterprise.com.
I'm in almost every school bus in classroom. You see me around the neighborhood and you tell me that I'm a pretty good kid. Well, I'm one out of every 5 children in America, and I'm struggling with hunger. Please visit feedingamerica.org today and find your local food bank for ways to help. Every dollar you donate helps provide 8 meals for kids like me. We are Feeding America, brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
The award-winning Palace Peace and Love Academic Scholarship is appealing for your support to help educate one student at a time in Jamaica and the Caribbean.
Palace awarded 492 scholarships and several computers to university and high school students in Jamaica and the Caribbean over the past 7 years, valued at approximately 33 million Jamaican dollars, $250,000 US.
Importantly, our university graduates to date include 15 medical doctors, 10 lawyers, 6 engineers, and 15 fine arts students. Our goal is to award at least 105 scholarships in 2018.
Please partner with us to make this a reality for those well-deserving, hard-working students by making a tax-deductible donation online at www.palace1.org
or send a check to Palace, P.O. Box 5461, Alpharetta, Georgia 30023 USA, or telephone 770-744-2154.
Palace, preserving young minds for posterity.
Hey, I'm representing for DJ Kevin Stew, working on the night shift radio show. Won't go changing like the weather, just to please the devil never. Will DJ Kevin Stew sell his soul? That's a word and honor. It's Christine representing word and honor. Selassie DJ Kevin Stew.
Justice today.
The sound of Pinky Famous.
Life just calm down the drain. She a ball boy, we need justice today.
A track called We Need Justice.
Another youth, life just calm down the drain. The youths that are ball, mama, boy. The youths that
The segment is brought to you courtesy of GMAC Music Solutions, bringing music to life. Give them a call. Tell them I sent you. 754-307-4622. That spells GMAC. 754-307 GMAC. That's the easy way to remember it. Cool. Alright, so for those of you just tuning in, welcome guest 954. For those of you just tuning in, it's Real Talk Wednesday. And happy hump day to you too. And tonight in Real Talk, we're trying to answer the question, why people kill? Why? And we looked at one school of thought that was saying, listen, people do this thing because that's a part of them. It's just what they do. But assuming that we're not all killers who just do not do it, we refrain from causing harm due to social or psychological restrictions. Assuming that, what then could make us kill? What would turn us into these killers? According to soldiers like retired U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel Dave Grossman, it's a process involving 4 strategies: brutalization, classical conditioning, operant conditioning, and role modeling. You got that? 4 things: brutalization, classical conditioning, operant, as in operational, operant conditioning, and role modeling. Now, brutalization is the process in which you lose a sense of your own worth as an individual. So you're taught to lose a portion of yourself. Within the military, this is a highly regimented process. New recruits undergo difficult and sometimes humiliating training experiences to wear down a sense of individuality. It helps the military chip away at the resistance most people have to the notion of ending someone's life. The military also conditions soldiers to become effective. In classical conditioning, the goal is to associate a desired behavior with a reward. Grossman says this isn't used often in American military training because it seems morally reprehensible to associate violence with rewards. But wait, aren't you paid to be in the military? Isn't that part of going to war killing people? Doesn't your salary increase as you get promoted? I get it. You don't have to be deployed on tours to go actually into battle to get promotion. But are you not a part of what is happening, even if you work in an office, by association? Now, don't get me wrong. I have nothing against people in the military or people who are vets. There are people that are very close to me that are vets. and are actively serving in the military. So I'm not bashing them or anything, but the argument, that is what I'm addressing. So it's reprehensible, according to the American military, to associate violence with rewards. But that's what we do. In operant conditioning, soldiers train in simulated environments to develop an automatic response to stimuli. As an example, firing at human-shaped targets. So you know where on the body you're going to target when you're in a live situation. This makes sense. I never thought about it before, but it makes sense. Now, the role model in the military is a drill sergeant. It is a drill sergeant's job to demonstrate aggression while maintaining discipline. Assuming the process works the way the military intends it to, soldiers will look to the drill sergeant as the model for behavior. The combined approach, in theory, will create soldiers capable of killing an enemy in combat. That's really interesting. I know a drill sergeant who is female. She's about, I don't know, 5 feet 2 inches, and probably weighs 105 soaking wet. And she's a drill sergeant. Can you imagine how tough she is? But that is the idea behind the drill sergeant in the military. Now, it is possible that killers who were never soldiers, which would be most, hopefully most, serial killers or mass murderers, it would be possible that they had experiences similar to those of a military recruit. The major difference is that with these killers, the exposure wasn't in a controlled environment. The backgrounds of many killers show a history of brutalization. In several cases, the killers began to enact violence on weaker creatures as a way of asserting control or demonstrating behaviors learned through being brutalized. Look into the backgrounds of serial killers. You'll start to notice some common elements. Many people who eventually become serial killers had traumatic childhoods and were themselves victims of abuse. It's a gross oversimplification to suggest a traumatic childhood is a chief contributing factor to a serial killer's behavior, but there does appear to be a strong correlation. Many killers have expressed feelings of alienation and have shown evidence of harboring violent fantasies before they commit to killing. In some cases, the killer suffers from a mental disorder or brain damage that either inhibits or prevents the social and psychological restrictions humans have toward killing other people. Whether we're repressing urges that are more than several millennia old, or we're naturally averse to ending the life of another person, it is clear, maybe not crystal clear, but clear that in most cases we need a catalyst to push us to killing. There needs to be something driving us. There needs to be a reason. Identifying and understanding the elements that can change a person at risk into a killer may help us to be able to treat or prevent tragedy in the future. But is that new to the people who have the jobs of treating and trying to prevent such tragedies? I wonder. But it's a real interesting juggling act, isn't it? Because here on one hand, you're being taught to kill. Is that why some people, ex-military, suffer from PTSD? Is it that they are so taught that they should be going out there and operating in a certain way, especially those who have been deployed to war, that when they come back to civilization, that is what they want to do? So now some of them actually end up becoming these criminals, these serial killers. Because if the traumatic experience thing is correct, and this is just my thinking, my wayward, way off, out in past left field thinking, if nothing really is different between when you compare a trained military operative and one who has become a serial killer by way of a traumatic experience as a child. Maybe the ability to bark some instructions at the former of the two categories and they comply. Maybe, just maybe. But that one in that former category has also been taught certain things. How to defend themselves, as well as how to attack. So, which of the two is really more dangerous? Now that you think about it. Is it that you have to already have killer-like tendencies to make it through boot camp? To be able to go out there and be placed in the field? Because then you are already receptive to certain things that you're being conditioned to. Where are my psychologists, my therapists? Where are they? Boy, friends, when you need them the most, they just up and leave you.
Look at Don Corleone. Morgan Heritage again, yeah. Another one for the world, my friend.
8 minutes to the top of the hour.
The world gets so prevalent. I tell you, there's no safe place for the innocent.
Zona Morgan Heritage.
And the police them everywhere in the world is the same, my friend. The whole world is a gun town, and the youth them have.
That's the name of the track.
Gun town, yeah. What they gonna ask them hot, hot, hot. Got the youth them no ramp, they must say shot, 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 yeah. And if them get to live a day over 20, nowadays it's like them get to live plenty. Rest in peace to all who got ready. We're gonna carry on despite the poverty, yeah. In the street them now no food to eat, but be sure that them strapped with the heat. Yeah, yeah, yeah. In the street them now no money to spend, but be sure that the clip all send. Now tell me this, where did they get it from? You better know, say that them and they bring them come. Everywhere in the world it's the same, I swear. Yeah, there and everywhere. The whole world is a gun town, and the youth them have to grow up in this gun town. Yeah, where they gonna dance and live hot, hot, hot. Got the youth them no ramp, they must shot, shot, shot. Yeah, and if them get to live a day over 20, nowadays it's like them get to live plenty. Rest in peace to all who got ready. We're gonna carry on despite the poverty, yeah.
Circumstances make us who we are, and in our hearts there remains a scar. Cause when you get to know the poor man's story, you understand that it ends with no glory. It's like the light man no work at all. They not no regard of what we are. We're human too, just like you, that's why
a day over 20. Nowadays is that them get to live plenty. Rest in peace to all who gone ready. We're gonna carry on despite the poverty. Yeah. Everyone everywhere wants a peace of mind, but you the state of the world money left behind. This daytime is the hardest time for mankind.
It's so confusing. How it moves in. Tell me who's choosing the way the world is going.
The world is a gun town, and the youth them have to grow up in this gun town. Yeah, where the gunners in them hot, hot, hot. All the youth them around them must be shot, shot, shot. Yeah, and if them get to live a day over 20, nowadays is like them get to live plenty. Rest in peace to all who gone ready. We're gonna carry on despite the poverty. The whole world is a gun town, and the youth them have to grow up in this gun town. Yeah, where the gunners in them hot, hot, hot. All the youth them no ramp for must be shot, shot, shot. Yeah, and if them get to live a day over 20, nowadays is like them get to live plenty. Rest in peace to all who gone ready. Carry on.
5 minutes to the top of the hour. It's really kind of scary when you think about these things. You know, when you look at who people are considered to be serial killers are. They grew up. When you look at their history, and then you look at the history of someone who is taught to defend freedom and liberties of a nation, it's just too close. No, it's not musical therapy yet. This is on a blaster and Caramanti, encouraging us to show love.
Show love, yeah. Each and every time. Show love, yeah. Everywhere you go, man, I should have show love, no. Find it in your heart to just show love, real love, show love, yeah. One life, one God, one word. Why can't we show one love? Love for my brother, my sister there. For everyone I show love, I care. What does it take, man, to just be nice? What does it take to show a smile? What does it take to just unite and then live as one, yeah? And it's a show love, yeah. Each and every time. Show love, yeah. Everywhere you go, man, I should have show love, no. Find it in your heart to just show love, real love, show love, yeah.
Alright then, this your topic so important. Few things me want to talk to me, I beg you a second. I guess it's only right we start with this question. Do you think that love brings confusion? Man say him love him girl but him beat the woman. She say she love her boo but she cheap on the man. None of that can be love, that a most oppression. Anyways moving on, blast us sing this song.
And it's a show love, yeah. Each and every time. Show love, yeah. Everywhere you go, man, I should have show love, no. Find it in your heart to just show love, real love, show love, yeah. From Malawi to Jamaica, me tell them say we wanna spread more love in every way. Thanks and praise to my maker. Yes, yes, yeah. For the people in my life, yeah. For my sister and my mommy. For my brothers and my papi, yeah. We in love and we happy, and we live as one, yeah. I need more love, light us for love. I seek only love, nothing but sweet love. Love for my brother and my sister, there. Love for my mommy and my papi, yeah. I miss a love for the youth suffering out there.
A minute to the top of the hour.
Love, no.
I'm gonna take a quick little break.
In your heart, to just show
When we come back,
real love, show love, yeah.
we're gonna talk some more. We're gonna find out what some inmates
Each and every time,
had said about what it is like to murder.
everywhere you go, man, I should have shown love, no. Find it in your heart to just.
We'll be right back. When being in the moment is priceless, consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse E-Media Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars, you name it. Pulse E-Media Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulseemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse E-Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless.
JTMC Music presents the highly anticipated, much talked about, The Juggling Rhythm Volume 1. This classic rhythm takes on a new life with tracks from both established artists and introduces some incredible new voices. Get your dancing shoes ready with The Juggling Rhythm, featuring international reggae dancehall artist Mr. Vegas, alongside Ian Sweetness, Ed Robinson, Jack Radix, Hezron, Dangling, Joanna Marie featuring Galaxy P, Denny Ranks featuring Jawiz, Amberleek, Christine Alicia, Yishka. Also the new sensations on the rhythm: Zeal, Danger Lee, Marquis Skelenar, Zachary. Available on all digital media outlets. The Juggling Rhythm. Get it, get it, get it.
We're off to an early start for a long hot summer, but beat the heat with a dash of lemongrass refresher. This cool thirst quencher is a low sugar beverage made from the fevergrass plant, which has antioxidants, several wellness properties, and is a great lifestyle drink for all ages. Ah, that hits the spot. It's a new great taste. Have one today. Dash Lemongrass Refresher, distributed by Carib Atlantic Distributors. Call 954-614-0919. That's 954-614-0919. Life's a dash. Live well.
Hey Dad, how do you throw a curveball? How do you build a fort? How do refrigerators run? How do fish learn how to swim?
Kids ask a lot of questions.
How high can you jump?
But you don't have to know every answer.
How many phone numbers are there?
Because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent.
How do cell phones work?
There are thousands of children in foster care who don't need every question answered.
What's electricity?
They just need you.
What's the moon made of?
For more information on how you can adopt, go to adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Matthew 28:19 says, "Go ye therefore and teach all nations." With this in mind, and encouragement received during a South Florida media conference, The Church Links was birthed. The Church Links is an interdenominational worship service portal for churches, providing the tools to spread the word through technology in a cost-effective way. The Church Links, www.dahchurchlinx.com. Your links to worship and praise.
I'm in almost every school bus in classroom. You see me around the neighborhood and you tell me that I'm a pretty good kid. Well, I'm one out of every 5 children in America, and I'm struggling with hunger. Please visit feedingamerica.org today and find your local food bank for ways to help. Every dollar you donate helps provide 8 meals for kids like me. We are Feeding America, brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Yes. Akara Mantino, I'm making notes right now. You are locked in to DJ Kevin Stew on the night shift.
When man's a champion, rise up every champion. J Island, yeah, well, Yes, I say give me herbs and make man smoke up the scene. Cause to all me feel no cops no want intervene. Thugs all up on the men with extra loud magazine. And lyrics show them down like an M16 like an M16. M16 like an M16. Rebels all up on the men with extra loud in magazine. And lyrics shoot them down like an M16. Tired to see you put them on banja. White wall of us you mount corner. Baby mother just don't show the pressure. A politician men them not really give a run. Well me say hold up, look now. Bodies a get fling out. And can't a show out. If you not strap down, come out. The whole town, the burial ground. I said the whole town, the burial ground. So ring the alarm, cause Babylon be falling. Whoa, yeah, I'm on a champion. And we no wanna skylarking. No, yeah. And I say give me herbs and make man smoke up the scene. Cause to all me feel no cops no want intervene. Thugs all up on the men with extra loud magazine. And shot fire no from an M16 like an M16. M16 like an M16. Rebels all up on the men with extra loud in magazine. And lyrics shoot them down like an M16. Yes I say bring it come on. Yes I say bring it come on, yeah. Rebels all out in a full suit of armor. Get to use getting much wiser and bolder. Don't spray your oil or your powder, your ogre. Nah.
The sound of J Island.
Every get to youths on them on a payroll. They have to be a suffer and a live life poor. I mean no one missing no more youths upon that road. So ring the alarm.
The track is called M16.
And be falling. Whoa, yeah, I'm on a champion. And we no wanna skylarking. No, yeah.
Now, as I was playing this song, a thought came to me. As it relates to people in the Caribbean and Jamaica, are they more influenced by the music? Or is it what artists have been seeing in the community that inspired the music? When you hear songs like this
original
one,
gangster, original gangster,
Traditional system, yeah.
Original gangster.
We reach the 10th stage of evil now. Murdering people. Hey, I love all of the gunmen.
Original gangster.
Keep them shine and crisp. A couple shot, you feel carrying on your gun. Make a boy turn purple anytime them get it loud. Shoot to kill up, we don't shoot and miss. Bullseye bust up on the mixture. You is a bad boy, you is a water gun quick. I'm a bad man with me oversized clip. He me rock and me dip and pop it off of me hip. Funeral preparation, build the casket. Mother ball, over one of our son. Talk about the gun and come die by the gun. Father crying, fist him son laid down. Gun blow out the brain that eat that and run. Brother ball over him, brother him never know him would get so much so let that capacity. I love all of the gunmen. Keep them shine and crisp. A compassion, you feel having on your gun. Make a boy turn purple anytime them get in.
Original, original.
so you think that could have anything to do with molding the minds of individuals that are already, I would say, weakened by situations in their society, in their environment? Things that make you go, And you hear songs like,
Me say, informer, yeah, what shall we have? You get shot and tagging up back when we look on them and tell them original wicked man bounty killer say. What we say? You gun bitch shot bad boy you burst. All informer, a them a dead first. You gun bitch shot wicked men burst. From we back we gun me no pet neither. To be an informer, that is not a nice work. Your time not there for your life, it don't work. I bet you a go there, then go under the earth. Are you inform, man, I see you and Dunkirk. How them rob bank and but up bank clerk. Beat up pastor, rob the old church. All I tell Christian, them up at night and nurse me a dopey. So no try get we blood thirst. We live a cemetery, and now we drive the earth and to murder people. It's we long time broke shot.
Because when I was growing up,
or in a church,
these were some of the things, some of the songs that we'd walk on the streets and we'd be singing, and we in the dance, and you hear the selector draw this, or the party, and you hear the DJ draw this song and this tune, and it's all real up. It's all the rave.
You shot policeman, them a do them work and policeman no rank.
But in playing songs like these, are we encouraging negativity? I'm not gonna lie to you. Depending on the circumstance, I'd be playing these songs still. Why? Because I would be playing in a mature crowd, and it would be for entertainment purposes only. And I would go as far as to say the artist at the time probably was singing, creating this piece of artwork for entertainment purposes. But then there are also songs like where is it? Oh my goodness. I just had the song and I lost it. Oh my goodness. You know, I probably age catching up on me or something. Or I'm just tired. Queen has this song. Oh jeez, I just lost it. Mama, I just killed a man. Oh jeez. Anyway, if I find when I find it back, I will play it, or probably don't need to. But you get the picture. Of course, that is more of a confessional tune, but still, when we have music coming out that talking about things like that, and we know the power of music, are we molding the minds of killers? It is said that hurt people hurt people. Have you ever heard that? It's the people who have been hurt that will turn around and hurt other people. Inmates at one of America's most notorious prisons have spoken of what it feels like to murder someone. Murderers incarcerated at the infamous San Quentin jail in California, they shared some of their reflections on their crimes as a part of the Last Mile, which is a rehabilitative program enabling some of the inmates to blog and to communicate on social media platforms like Twitter. Now, although they do not have direct online access, the prisoners' thoughts, ideas, and discussions are uploaded by volunteers. So, when asked, what does it take, what does it feel like to murder someone? As a 19-year-old drug dealer, this is kind of crazy. As a 19-year-old drug dealer, Tommy Winfrey said, this was the most personal question that he could ever answer. He said, I felt immense peer pressure to go through with the murder. I realize now I was in a very bad place in life. I felt worthless and unworthy of love. So in return, I placed little value on my life or on the life of anyone else. I felt like a great weight was lifted off my shoulders when I pulled the trigger. He said that now he had come to terms with the personal issues which led him to committing the crime. He felt immense sorrow, guilt, and shame. Admitting to myself I was feeling scared, lonely, unworthy of love and respect was just too hard. By admitting these feelings, I would also have to come to grips with what I really did and how I affected the world. I'm finally there after 15 years. David Monroe, a friend of his, also laid out his thoughts. He said, having killed as a 15-year-old gang member, the truth is that people murder other people because they're hurt inside and are struggling to deal with their emotions maturely. The term hurt people, that's not a new concept. He said his parents had been both alcoholics and that his father later walked out and left the family. He said his stepfather took drugs and abused him and his mother, while his older brother was imprisoned for murder and his younger brother died at the hands of a drunk driver. Monroe said the question was a complex one involving raw truth. I did what most people do and bottled everything up and buried it deep down inside. Through violence, I was able to relieve myself of pain by inflicting it onto others. Murdering someone was the ultimate release. This is the truth about what it feels like to murder someone. It is the ultimate way to deal with your problems irresponsibly. Larry Histon. The question was nebulous. I believe that the emotional response would range from emptiness to tremendous regret, he said. I believe this to be true whether or not this question is targeted to physical, intellectual, or emotional destruction of another human being. For example, if you are a malicious person and envious of another, you can essentially murder or destroy a person you consider your adversary by the words you speak out of your mouth. That is deep. So here it is, these individuals who had been incarcerated, probably never to be released because they're in prison for murder. And murder as teenagers. And they all have something in common. They're all hurting. So, I guess if we can encourage each other, if we can lift up each other, then the probability of facing all these killings by individuals who are hurting themselves would be reduced. Because now you're giving them an opportunity to relate to what it is they're going through in constructive ways. I was gonna say by any means necessary, but by positive means. What have you done, those listening to me right now, to encourage one person? Because any of these individuals who told their story while in prison about murdering, it could have been different for them if someone had encouraged them. So are you gonna try to encourage someone? Or are you gonna know that someone is on the possible path to becoming a serial killer and not say anything? And then when it happens, go, you know, I had my suspicions, but I didn't want to say anything because it wasn't my place. Maybe we need to recognize where our place is. Evil, revenge, ignorance, hurt are some of the reasons people kill. Okay, hold on. Hold on, Christine. If this is the case, shouldn't we be able to talk to these individuals who are considered evil and show them something good? Because no one person only has this one trait. No one person is only good. We all have these negative thoughts, so that means that there's bad in us too. So no one person is pure evil. Revenge, that happens because someone was hurt. Ignorance, people can be taught. Hurt, they can get over it. But if only they had the opportunity, if only they were given the chance to express what they're going through in a judgment-free zone. If only. Think about it. I get it. Yes, these are some of the reasons people kill. I agree. But why are they left with those reasons? Is it because we have become so disjointed in our community? Is it because we don't take the time out to say hi or even smile? Could that be the reason? Is that possible? Yes, no, maybe so. 773-789-STEW. Let me hear from you. This is music from Christine Alicia. It's called Rise Up. The video for this song was shot recently and released this week.
Every man will have a turn to make his own decision and to practice what him learn. Check your heart and motive every day you walk this earth. Remember life is given, make a difference in this world. Awake from your slumber. Awake, Israelite, recall your maker. Who gives to every man his portion. The choice is yours to move on forward. Rise up and try your road. Rise up, don't make nobody stop you now. Rise up, Zion's gates are yours. Zion, destiny is ours. Oh, rise up and try your road. Rise up, don't make nobody stop you now. Rise up, Zion's gates are yours. Zion, destiny is ours. A man not make excuses, never gets to reach his fullness. And if you go bet your neighbors, well, you'll grow a heart of bitterness. See beyond the naked eye, see what's really happening. Nothing new under the sun. Ecclesiastes said it. Awake from your slumber. Awake, Israelite, we call your maker. Who gives to every everybody's portion. The choice is yours to move on forward. Rise up and trod your own. Rise up, don't make nobody stop you now. Rise up, Zion's gate, Zion, Zion, destiny is ours. So rise up and trod your own. Rise up, don't make nobody stop you now. Rise up, Zion's gate, Zion, Zion, destiny is ours. Every man will have a lesson, every man will have a turn to make his own decision and to practice what him learn. Check your heart and motives every day you walk this earth. Remember, life is given, make a difference. This is what I earn. Awake from your slumber, yeah. Awake, this will life before you make her. Who gives to every man his portion? The choice is yours to move on forward. Rise up and trod your own. Rise up, no make nobody stop you. Rise up, Zion's gate, Zion, Zion, destiny is ours. Rise up and trod your own. Rise up, no make nobody stop you now. Rise up, Zion's gate, Zion, Zion, destiny is ours. Yeah. Rise up and trod your own. No make nobody stop you now.
The sound of Christina Alicia. Rise up. 26 minutes after the hour. It's real talk, and given the opportunity to just think on these things, you know. Tonight's show is kind of, the topic was kind of heavy, and when you really look into it. But still, it all boils down to remembering that no matter what, somebody wants to talk to someone, and somebody wants to listen. Which one of those are you? When you want to talk to someone, don't you wish you had someone to talk to sometimes? You want to talk to someone and no one is available. How do you feel? What do you end up doing? Imagine that.
One more day in the struggle. African the mango jungle. You don't know. Bound a little sugar no pan. We not sleep with you no man. Oh, said I had a close one yesterday. Jah put an angel over me. Be strong. Hold up for meditation. One day things must get better. Don't you go down, keep your head above the water. Stay. One day things must get better.
You're so right.
Hold up for meditation.
We're too busy. We don't take time to listen when people are trying to reach out or crying out for help. That's so true. We're focused on our own issues. We don't recognize when others are in need. I'm glad you recognize that you're guilty of that and doing what you can to make changes and become more aware. It really makes a difference. And you'll definitely be one to help someone.
One more day in the struggle. African the mango jungle. You don't know. Bound a little sugar no pan. We not sleep with you no.
This is Bojo. A close one yesterday.
Did I had a close one yesterday? Jah put an angel over me. Be strong. Hold up for meditation. One day things must get better. Don't you go down, keep your head above the water. Stay. One day things must get better. Be strong. Hold up for meditation. One day things must get better. Don't
get better. The rich is wise in his own conceit, but the fool with overstanding searcheth him out. Poor man mourn the rich, riches increase. I said, be not grieved, riches are not forever. Every night the oppressor choose none of his ways. Be not wise in thine own eyes, only that you must praise. Try not with a man without the cause. If he had done you no harm, let bygone be bygone. Said I had a close one yesterday. Jah put an angel over me, be strong. And I say, well, a firm meditation. One day things must get better.
I like that prayer 406.
Your head above that water. One day things must get better. Be strong. And I say, well, a firm meditation. One day things must get better. Don't you go down, keep your head above the water. Say, one day things must get better. 9 to 5 is a joke compared to the pressure. The minister said the economy is getting better, misleading the people. The mass still suffer. Oh, Jah scarce benefits and spoils. Oh, Jah knows that we feel it. Oh, day and night we cry, cry, cry. I know that we feel it. Who can ever weep in so life?
Yeah, you got to be careful what you ask for. You just might get it. When you pray, please put someone in my path that I can make a difference in their life.
One day things must get better.
I understand that when that person comes around, you're asking for a lot of responsibility.
Be strong and with a firm meditation. One day things must get better.
It's up to you to choose.
This is on a Code Red.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Whoa.
This track is called Tommy.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Whoa.
This previous segment was brought to you by JTMC Enterprise.
Way down deep in the heart of the country, he did everything his mama said he should.
And we now move into the Wake Up and Live segment.
Go to school, do what your teacher say. Read your Bible and don't forget to pray. And the Lord will take good care of you.
Sarah Rockwell joins us 7 o'clock in the morning Eastern time.
Times were hard and Tommy had
And tomorrow he goes until 11.
So when the dawn came and gave him a 9mm, he said,
Tommy,
I don't know how it's gonna go with the drive-by tomorrow.
Two roads before you, pick your choice.
We'll see.
Two roads before you, pick your choice. Two roads before you, pick your choice. There is hell and there is heaven, pick your choice. So poor Tommy boy so confused, the whole world to gain and his soul to lose. The pressures of life ain't no simple thing. Baby mother taking him to court, she gonna put him on child support. Tommy needs some money, he needs it now, right now. Now should he take the gun and go kill this man? This could be someone's dad, somebody's husband. It would hurt poor mama's heart if he should become a gunman. Just a minute, Mr. Don Man, I've got to think about
And sometimes you ask why me, and then you remember your prayer. I tell you, your mother was right. Be careful what you ask for.
your choice. Two roads before you, pick your choice. There is hell and there is heaven, pick your choice. Said the Don Man, yo, you're taking too long. Let me know, should I find someone? I thought you said you needed the money. Said Tommy, I'm broke as hell. I got more troubles than my tongue can tell. But taking a man's life ain't nothing funny.
You see, what goes around comes around. I ain't gonna shoot nobody down. I don't wanna serve no time in prison. Mama raised me better than that. Now take up no gun fi put on no pot. Keep your money, Mr. Dunman. Two roads before you, pick your choice. Two roads before
There's always a choice.
Pick your choice. Two roads before you, pick your choice.
What choice do you make?
There is hell and there is heaven. Pick your choice. Don't come in.
What shall it profit a man?
We walk this way from somebody.
Your mama did not.
Them have no love with them brothers and them sisters. Them woulda sell you out for one slice of pizza. Then them wanna burn out Kanye West. Enough of them are some real hypocrites. Some don't care nothing about the ancestors. Them sit up in the church and praise the God of the oppressors. Them have no love with them blackness. With the bleaching.
This is new music from Mr. Vegas called Colorism.
But we mock him and treat him like the enemy. You choose the white guns over the black guns. I know me tell the truth, hell you want to send me. If you coulda right now, you woulda sell me. You don't have to say it loud, your actions tell me. You woulda choose Jesus over me. You not left the slave master when them want hang me. Them have no love with them brothers and them sisters. Them woulda sell you out for one slice of pizza. Then them wanna burn out Kanye West. Enough of them are some real hypocrites. Some don't care nothing about the ancestors. Them sit up in the church and praise the God of the oppressors. Them have no love for them blackness. With the bleaching cream, no for them obsessed. When Kanye said, when the Bible no say. The Bible say you're true, we sin, the God a punish you. True, we wrong, tries him kill all the babies. And make the mothers eat them placenta and them babies. When me read Deuteronomy 28, you wonder why God did a priest so much faith. So me third eye open and me wide awake. Me see a lie them a tell and them doctrine fake. You better start love your brothers and your sisters. Cause the oppressors, them are tricksters. Me know so enough of you know I be hear this. Cause they go against where you are practice. Some don't care nothing about the ancestors. Them sit up in them church and praise the God of the oppressors. Them have no love for them blackness. With the bleaching green over them obsessed.
Everybody wants to be delivered and be forgiven. It's so easy.
Thank you very much.
Who's trust in Jesus?
I think that's a good choice.
And know that he sees.
This is Dale Brown and Truth.
Falling to your knees.
A track called Covered.
Life will be a breeze. Just let go.
Encouraging you to go catch the video.
Fair. God is here. No more pain you'll have to bear. And he'll wipe away your tears. So you know.
Encouraging you to go download the album.
Under the blood, say you're covered.
It's called Bold Believer.
You go, say you're covered by the blood. And when you're walking, you have to let the world know. Day or night, say you're covered by the blood. Say under the blood, say you're covered. Hope you know. Everywhere you go, say you're covered by the blood. And when you're walking, you have to let the world know. Day or night, say you're covered by the blood. Can't save ya. See me God, you can't walk over. And even though me no deserve no redeemer, him still a cover me with peace and favor. So me no serve no can't save ya. See me God, you can't walk over. And even though me no deserve no redeemer, him still a cover me with peace and favor. Papa Jesus say under the blood, say you're covered. Hope you know everywhere you go, say you're covered by the blood. And when you're walking, you have to let the world know. Day or night, say you're covered by the blood. Under the blood, say you're covered. Hope you know everywhere you go, say you're covered by the blood. And when you're walking, you have to let the world know. Day or night, say you're covered by the blood. Can't save ya. See me God, you can't walk over. And even though me no deserve no redeemer, him still a cover me with peace and favor. Papa Jesus say under the
quick test.
You're covered. Hope you know everywhere you go, say you're covered by the blood.
Who remembers what PR means?
Day or night, say you're covered by the blood.
Yeah, do you? Quick time. Send me a message. Do you remember what Pia Pia mean? You're not Jamaican. I want to know. Do you remember what Pia Pia mean? I told you last night. I told you the night before. Go to the chat room, kevinstew.com, or shoot me a message. 773-789-STEW. 773-789-7839. Do you remember what Pia Pia mean?
Well, let me tell you about a pretty young lady. She love off my island.
This is Korik. His entry in the 2018 festival competition.
Beautiful smile with the prettiest skin.
It's called Let's Do It in Jamaica.
Well, let me tell you about a pretty young lady. She love off my island, yeah. Listen, well, I met this girl last summer, had the prettiest thing. Beautiful smile with the prettiest skin. She was looking for a place to vacation. Me say my home is a great destination. She smiled. I said, would you agree to take that vacation with someone like me? I know the perfect place you can be free, baby. Let's do it in Jamaica, hey, where the summer sun is always shining. Happy people always smiling, you'll see. Let's do it in Jamaica, hey, the nicest place to get away. And we have summer every day, trust me. Let's do it in Jamaica. That's where all the fun is, baby. Feel free to get wild and crazy, or just relax and be lazy. She's me say whatever you want, whatever you need, it's alright with me. Even if you want to try out the trees, baby. Let's do it in Jamaica, hey, where the summer sun is always shining. Happy people always smiling, you'll see. Let's do it in Jamaica, hey, perfect place to get away. And we have summer every day, trust me. Let's do it in Jamaica. If you feel like party with me, let me make it real easy. You just need to get up and shake off your troubles and smile with me. Relax for a while with me. Enjoy the island breeze, baby. Let's do it in Jamaica, hey, where the summer sun is always shining. Happy people always smiling, you'll see. Let's do it in Jamaica, hey, the nicest place to get away. And we have summer every day, trust me. Let's do it in Jamaica. So what will it be? The question may answer, still not answer me. The invite is open, your tickets on me. Hey, hey. So let me ask you again, girl, would you agree to take that vacation with someone like me? I know the perfect place you can be free, baby. Come with me to Jamaica, hey, where the summer sun is always shining. Happy people always smiling, you'll see. Let's do it in Jamaica, hey, the nicest place to get away. And we have summer every day, trust me. Let's do it in Jamaica.
Out of the ghetto, believe in your dreams, believe you and me, don't let go. We're living it up, we're having a good time, baby. I was born uptown, now the
18 minutes and stuff there as we roll through our musical therapy. And this is the Wake Up and Live segment.
out of the ghetto. Believe in your dreams, believe you and me, don't let go. We're living it up, we're having a good time, baby. I was born uptown, now the ghetto dream, now don't be lazy.
Trenchtown have a grandson, growing up to be somebody. Gang to the zilly, I'm a flow phenomenally. I am the kind of thing that doesn't happen normally. I'm a one in a zillion. Yo doggy, if you want some good life finally, perhaps change your nighttime hobby. Come out of the old crime lobby and benefit from your wisdom. Me a go and live it up, life is better than great. Every other day me boss a dozen dub plate. Put in our hustle, we no sit down and wait. Tough up on no muscle, now it's never too late.
They go and celebrate in a rich people place. The liquor rasta man from Trenchtown fly the gates.
With food in a plate and drinks in a crate, we sing till the neighbor them wait.
Out of the ghetto, believe in your dreams, believe you and me, don't let go. We're living it up, we're having a good time, baby. I was born uptown, now the ghetto dream, now ain't life crazy. Daddy
sound of Honorable. New music from him, it's called Lots of Love.
With your big broad hips and small sexy waistline. Just look on her body, look on her body. Watch how she wind up, watch how she wind up. That girl they look good, that girl they look good. Watch how she look hot, watch how she look hot. Look on her body, look on her body. Watch how she wind up, watch how she wind up. That girl they look good, that girl they look good. Watch how she look hot, watch how she hot for the figure. That's a love, that's a love, gonna be sure.
15 minutes to the top of the hour, 15 minutes before I get out of here for the remainder of the week.
That's a love, that's a love, that's a love, gonna be sure. That's a love, that's a love, that's a love, all them a bad mind you. If you show them love, shine brighter than the brightest bulb. Your body tight like the tightest glove, and your thing turn up louder than the hypest club. No man no one check for them legal. Them light up quick fi ride in a vehicle. If some of them a show it, I one thing you get from the majority. I look on her body, look on her body. Watch how she wind up, watch how she wind up. That girl they look good, that girl they look good. Watch how she look hot, watch how she look hot. Look on her body, look on her body. Watch how she wind up, watch how she wind up. That girl they look good, that girl they look good. Watch how she look hot, watch how she hot for the figure. That's a lot, that's a love, that's a love, gonna be sure. That's a lot, that's a love, that's a love, gonna be sure. That's a lot, that's a love, that's a love, gonna be sure. That's a lot, that's a love, that's a love.
Who's somebody and big? I mean, she want to touch her. Some of my fancy things and take her on the world, but I mean, she want to touch her. When we touch it like rain.
The cover gets produced.
She want to touch her.
Rasta Touch. This is Bingy Blaze.
So I touch her in the morning, touch her in the evening. Good loving from the Rasta man she receiving. Loyal empress, I me know she no deceiving. She a blaze, movie is fine, dinner is fine, but right now she need to unwind. It's touching time. She tell me say a touching time. So ma come in house and money and vehicle. I mean she want to touch her. Some a buy her fancy things and take her on the world, but I mean she want to touch her. When we touch it's like rain a fall. I mean she want to touch her. A Rasta she want to touch her. A blaze, she feel like she wanna fly. She never yet been so high. She's in love, she cannot deny. Oh me, oh my, oh me, oh my. Rasta I give her more than text. Stimulate her mind, body, soul, intellect. Take her to some place that she never been yet. Seen some things that she never seen yet. She said me want you bingy, trust me. She said me need your bingy, touch me. She said me want you bingy, trust me. She said me need your bingy, touch me. So I come with house and money and vehicle. I mean she want to touch her. So I buy her fancy things and take her on the world, but I mean she want to touch her. When we touch it's like rain and fall. I mean she want to touch her. A Rasta she want to touch her. It's your boy Frano.
This is on a Frano. I'm talking about the good old days.
Like they got us to the face. I know money now fame can wipe those memories. We can pray for those days. No money now fame can wipe those memories. Sitting down on my couch reminiscing, thinking about the good old days that we missing. The fun nights that we used to go fishing and we fry out the catch in the outside kitchen. And we used to go a river, but catch perch and jungle, and then we catch a fire and run a boat with sauce of ground food and flour. We used to wash our clothes and dry them from big stoves, and then we swim all day till we hide them when we had wrinkle up like prawns. Reflecting on my life, I'm talking about the good old days.
you can wipe those memories. We can pray for those days. Nobody love you can wipe those memories.
We used to play rubber ball cricket, 3 piece of bamboo stick, make the wicket. The bat them a coconut bunker use, make it if you LBW the umpire juke it on. I remember when we used to spend our homemade gig them in St. Catherine. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do you see it?
Remember when we used to
Can you smell the air?
in a clean white sun in a Natobe. Yeah, yeah.
The good old days, yeah?
Sunday dinner, chicken, rice and peas, carrot, Kingston Square.
Carrot and beet juice. Yeah.
I remember sitting in the trays, eating star apple and chilling in the cool Jamaican breeze. Reflecting on my life, I'm thinking about the good old days. Yeah, 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 yeah. Times are hard, but the simple things in life, they got us to the face. And nobody now you can wipe those memories. We can pray for those days. Nobody now you can wipe those memories.
I'm lying here on the radio, running tune after tune like a disco. I close my eyes, I can hear the song.
9 minutes on top of the hour, 9 minutes before I bounce out of here.
Come in with a big tune, let it nice.
Son of Shauna Dazzle, the dazzling one.
I just can't sit still, let the dance this one on.
So it's Mr. DJ.
Mr. DJ, better one again.
I got you, Shauna.
This one fit forward, pull it back again.
I got you, Shauna.
I'm lying here on the radio, running tune after tune like a disco. I close my eyes, I can hear the song. And the music coming up, all the vibes flow. Come in with a big tune, let the niceness fill up the room. I just can't sit still, let the dance this one out. Mr. DJ, better one again. This one fit forward, pull it back again. Mr. DJ, play the one again. This one fit forward, pull it back again. I tell you what, it might just be music, but there's somebody I can't refuse it. Never rock gospel, no matter how they know is in it, I'll be the answer. Listen now, I'm a player of song, and I can't wait to do it next year. R&B, soca, hip-hop, dance, and we can't let them be attacked. Conscious music to cleanse your mind, mix it up every time it please me. Then my hype up the place and the music just with me. Mr. DJ, play the one again. This one fit forward, pull it back again. Mr. DJ, play the one again. This one fit forward, pull it back again.
No way, no, no way, no, not gonna lower mine for the money. No way, no, gonna need more than female.
It's the sound of Angela Touche.
I am gonna stay,
A track called No Way.
just run away
It's funny.
with the wrong way.
Andrew is a cousin of Shauna Dazzle. Big ups to the Latouche family anywhere they are right now.
Well, there's all you see. You don't care for people like me. Can't spend all the wealth you own. What did you do to help the poor? What's this you want me to do? No, I can't be like you. Can't alone my standards for you. Gotta go to yourself. You have no power over me. No, not when you're me. I serve the Almighty. He takes care of me. He gave me community. Yeah, means poverty. And I work
I will not despair. God is always here. Life is full of sadness. I wanna feel some gladness. I wanna go to heaven. Milk and honey for me, oh yes. Hold on, my friends. Even around on to the end. I know it's hard to face.
But be true, be yours in the end.
Satan wants you distracted. Only the Lord for you one day. With a full pocket, but the devil knowing. No way, no. No way, no. Not gonna love man for the money. No, no way, no. We gonna do all the shit way. I'm gonna stay on my own way.
4 minutes before I get out of here. This is Hezron and Louis Culture.
Last one to run, first to defend. Come menace the sun.
It's called Warrior Heaven.
Never wanted a penny more than the agreement. Yeah. Born and raised as a soldier, just sort of justice. Coming straight from the lineage of King David. To me, he was a hero to some.
As I bounce out of here, I want to remind you just to do something good for someone in your community. Hey, if you want to do someone in your community, that's up to you. Your community is not just the development that you live in, it spreads far and wide. With things like the advent of the internet. So those that you pass on the bus, on the plane, on the boat, on the train, these are all members of your community. So do something nice for one of them today, because you never know who's going to do something nice for you tomorrow. My name is DJ Kevin Steer, and this is how I like to do it to you, for you, and with you. With the night shift. I come back on Tuesday with Healthy Love, Real Talk, Wednesday. Oh, I come back on Monday first. Community and Finance. Yeah, that comes before Tuesday, right? Of course, I want to encourage you to have acceptance through enlightenment and be good. But if you can't be good, please be good at it. Until next time, I'm out of here.
Already your bones them rotten. You're gone, but you're never forgotten. And though society offers no better family, no better promise, they say you are a bad man. No, as for me, 1,000 deaths salute to a true warrior. Somebody tell me, where do the warriors go? Is there a place where the streets are paved with gold? Milk and honey flowing from the fountains. Everything is there, but what is there? Oh, ta 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 ta. Oh, yeah, girl. Ta 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 ta. Oh, oh, oh.
Yeah, ta-ta. Catalyst Crew, Woman, just a teaser. I'm out.
Oh, woman, your heart is like a work of art to me, yeah. Queen by my side, you are a lioness, so truly. Fairer than 14 million stars, your light shine through, yeah. Pretty little heart like there's nobody like you. Lord, the way you're pretty, the outfit call you rose. Fresh from the garden, best thing ever grown. Beautiful from the crown to your toes. And all of the intelligence to challenge the pros. When the evening comes and sunshine come, you radiate, illuminate the spot where you see down, girl. You are foundation, no other one can start to show quite like you. Oh, woman, your heart is like a work of art to me, yeah. Queen by my side, you are a lioness, so truly. Fairer than 14 million stars, your light shine through, girl. Pretty little heart, there's nobody like you. I'm
respect every good quality where you own.
Consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse E-Media Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars, you name it. Pulse E-Media Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulseemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse E-Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless.